All right, hey guys, and welcome back. This week I wanted to take a look at another little piece of obscure toy history, and this is going way back in the past, way beyond the normal 80s and 90s retro reviews that I usually take a look at, and this time we're going all the way back to the 1960s. Now, in the early 1960s, and as a matter of fact, all through the 1960s, outer space toys were all the rage, from different looking robots to the Lost in Space series. You had a lot of cult classic black and white space movies that were coming out. And since outer space exploration was just in its infancy, a lot of the science fiction hadn't evolved to what we know it today. A lot of these are kind of centered around and modeled after like Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon. So it wouldn't be till almost 10 to 20 years later till we would see more modern takes on outer space heroes and astronauts. So I have a few of these figures here from the 1960s that I thought were really interesting and wanted to share with you guys this week. So let's take a look at them now. Now, neither of these are branded, so a lot of space toys that were molded in like a resin plastic were made by a company called Marx. I don't know who these are made by. There's no identifying factors or brands or stamps on them whatsoever. The most I could see on one of them was just there was a patent pending mark on the back of the second one that I have, but other than that, there's absolutely no way of identifying them, even online and on eBay. Just mainly says like Astro Men and like Martian series gumball toys. So there's really, I couldn't find very much information about these at all. I really think they're very interesting though. They really have some good sculpts. Let's take a closer look up at the base of this one here. Let's get that to zoom in. That does not want to focus. There we go. And you can see definitely the styling of the time period with the really extremely rounded head, the rings and the fins all over the suit, the exaggerated boots, the ray gun, the odd-shaped jetpack on the back there, and just the really imaginative space suit with all these wild gadgets and electronics yet, because again, this was more just what was in people's imagination. A lot of this technology didn't even exist, so going into the realm of science fiction with outer space stories and stuff like that, there wasn't anything to base it off of yet because it was all still in its infancy. So yeah, a lot of these look really odd, but I think they're really cool. They're not posable or anything. They just have this one pose, so you could kind of army build these characters, I suppose, if you had a lot of them, and there are a lot of different ones, different poses that you can get, and they just kind of stand in the one position. But I really think they look neat. They definitely have a unique charm and character to them all their own. So now let's take a look at the second figure that I have here. Alright. And here we are. Yeah, we have this green guy here. And now he kind of looks a lot more like Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon or something. He definitely looks like a military soldier. He has his laser rifle here, and he has the, like a military astronaut suit, and he's definitely standing at attention in a very heroic pose here with the helmet, and again with the jetpack on the back, and the odd-shaped boots and everything. There's the end part of his space rifle there. But you gotta love the helmets. Look at the crazy design on that, on the ears and everything, and his badges or whatever that is that's on his jacket and coat there. the boots and everything. And now this is the one that I was talking about. I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. See if I can get a good close-up on it. But yeah, you can see there, it just says patent pending on the end of the gun. There's no other markings on this as to who made this toy or where it came from. So, you know, probably a very small toy maker made this. But again, really interesting, really different green color, and you know, really different design overall. But I think they're really neat. They're really cool to display with a lot of my other science fiction figures and monster figures. They kind of just have that retro movie and science fiction look to them. And now another thing that's interesting about these, and you guys might kind of think that I'm crazy for doing this, but if you tap them together, they make this interesting sound. I don't know how well you'll be able to hear that, but it's like a ceramic type of sound. So they're not even so much made out of plastic. It's almost like a bakelite material, which was what a lot of plastics and resin molds were made out of in the 60s. And I believe it contained metallic, either metallic or ceramic filaments, and that's why it produces that sound. So they're very fragile. If you were to put any pressure on the legs or whatever at all, or squeeze them, they would absolutely snap in half, and I don't think they would be able to be glued back together. But I just think these are really, really interesting. I know it's definitely very different from all the other, you know, more modern retro reviews that I do, but I definitely hoped that you guys enjoyed taking a look at these interesting little spacemen from the 1960s era, and I will see you back here next week. Take care. Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8ByteBrian. See you next time.